Villa. Maybe they feel a little bit more comfortable, regardless of whether it's their favorite map. This is a huge opportunity in front of them. And the best part is they get to start on the defense. So they're really going to be able to set that tone in terms of how they can really perform in what I would consider to be the more favored side in this one. And wow, they're not taking any time whatsoever on this ban. They've gone straight for the Thatcher.
So let's dig into it then. I'm super keen to see whether GyoGun can manage to get an upset over FAV Gaming. They are vulnerable right now. There is a real shot that this open qualifier team could take down one of the greats from APAC North. FAV having a rough year so far. They're going to ban the Nomad. They're going to look to play loose. They're going to look for flanks. They're not going to let GyoGun shut them down. Historically, FAV have been a fairly structured team anyway. They like their mix of aggression, but they like to play quite slow and methodical often. Let's see if GyoGun can be prepared for that. It is the double Wind Bastion bans from FAV Gaming. Kaid taken down as well with the Thatcher taken out. Kaid's such a headache. GyoGun finishing off with a Valkyrie. That leaves the mirror still in for any potential aggressive holds. Also, operators like Goyo. You know, Goyo is one that we've seen banned out by GyoGun recently on Villa. So leaving that in, also ops like, you know, Ying, even Monty. We have seen FAV Gaming really abuse that before, and as I say it, Afro switches straight onto it at the start, really looking to bring a flashy playstyle, quite literally.
Well played. Well played. Look, one thing I want to note for GyoGun coming into this, a lot of the bans that I've been watching for these teams when we're casting, we're sitting in the operator ban pick phase, and a lot of these teams are taking the full 20 seconds to decide the ban, whether that's just because, you know, one player isn't committing to the ban, maybe they're just talking about it. GyoGun, on both their attack and their defense ban, they were straight onto it. Within that first second, all of them clicked on, which, I don't know, look, take of it what you will, but a team that comes into this prepared, a team that comes into this with a real strategy and a real plan and idea of how they want to attack, it terrifies me. And I think already from what we've kind of been told about this roster, it could lean into it. Could lean into it quite heavily. I'm very big on the new castle. It's not even a rework by any means, but the added barricade has just been phenomenal. We've seen it time and time again in this tournament alone, and I can't wait to see the impact that it continues to have. But obviously, the Goyo now being brought out by Lambert, that will surely kind of allow for a little bit more of a, I would say, util-heavy play, if that makes sense. They're going to be able to sit behind those ADSs at top red and wherever that final Vulcan shield does take place, which I would imagine is probably around map. Model, I should say. We'll wait and see, though. As we do get underway here, FAV need to get off to a good start, because I'm sure GyoGun are more than willing and waiting for any kind of idea.
You see FAV already putting a lot of pressure on, starting to dismantle some of the setup around 90. Nowhere, just teasing out some aggression on the stat side, looking to try and push any early engagements. We can hear FAV Gaming are getting ready for this big roam clear. They already have droned up ahead. You can see Nowhere just jumps straight on down and escapes as FAV start to flood on through.
One thing we really started to, you know, praise FAV 4 in the later parts of their best of 3 yesterday against Orthoros Grit was their ability on their attack to really start to isolate quite quickly and open things up with great haste. And I think that's something that we will see here from FAV throughout this best of 3. It's something that I want to keep an eye on, is their attacks and how swiftly they're able to take control and continue on with their journey. They have taken stat and somewhat a landing control, wouldn't say fully by any means. They've still got quite a bit to deal with here. Nowhere, just got to be careful.
Oh, there you go. Overexposes, and Shin will lap up that first kill. Nowhere goes down. That should be Red Stairs control as well. Shin now lurking down below. Does have some nades, going to go for some vertical nades onto Volt. Fortunately, there's no one quite there at the moment, but it does take out that bandit battery, which would enable any hard breach. Not that there's an ace or a Hibana or a thermite anyway. Lugator could get a breach on later on, but for now, Kerry still loitering, falls back from 90. FAV Gaming have found the opening and they're starting to really encroach upon this defense.
Lambeau, timing, really works out a treat. FAV poking and prodding, trying to erode away at this defense. Only 3 drones left, live drones in the actual field itself, but they haven't closed around the site. 30 seconds left. That game is trying to get something done here. Lambeau just needs to stay alive and try to hold this for a minute longer. Things are starting to get a little bit dire here for FAV.
Yeah, time's ticking down. This is the classic FAV special. They just let that time tick, but now they've got to move. No second chances. Lambeau taken down, traded back. And Kerry now holding on to Bar, gets a couple of bullets in, but Shin has been worth his weight in gold. There it is, a fantastic.
But it is the start that I'd hoped for, especially considering how things went with Orthros Grid. It really did feel like Orthros had kind of cracked an egg, as to say, and that egg was well and truly FAV.
Yeah, look, FAV Gaming have just been in such poor form recently. It's honestly, they need this so badly, especially now that Guts Gaming on their side of the bracket has been taken down. Oh, sorry, no, that's on the other side of the bracket. But now that, like, Guts Gaming is taken out, right, FAV has a serious chance as the only APAC North team on this half of the bracket. In fact, I'm pretty certain that makes them the only even Japan League team on this side of the bracket. GyoGun Open Qualifier team. I believe all the other folks on their half of the bracket are Japan Open, yeah, USG. So that really sets up FAV for a grand final spot should they take this game. And that would be such a massive feat for them. Like, that would be huge for FAV Gaming to come away from a shocking 2021 season with this significant win. It would give them the confidence that they need to feel like themselves once again.
Good way of putting it. And that's what we want from FAV. We want them to feel like themselves. No, we're opening things up. Where was that from? Bottom of red, maybe. Wherever it was, I'm sure number 2 won't be too happy about it.
Located by attackers.
Let's go good and get that man advantage. FAV don't really have any control outside of maybe whatever they were going for with number 2. I didn't quite see where he ended up falling, but they are going to start to take that vertical control, or at least attempt to, trying to get some of this util off the wall.
A lot of pressure from FAV with how much map control they've managed to obtain. All this vertical potential, but Lambeau so close to being able to pressure Afro and Shin downstairs. Shin hasn't really saved many Selmas for breaching the actual site itself. When is that going to happen? At the moment, Lambeau is just waiting patiently. Yep. And here we go. This is the pressure on site. It's not actually going to be the Selmas from Ace. It's going to be Lugator with the Maverick Torch just opening these lines of sight effectively one way, as it's so hard to hold that for the defenders. Really, FAV have done a great job putting the pressure on, but Lambeau surely going to find some pressure soon. Afro marks up forward, and that is another kill for him. GyoGun really struggling to hold on to sight.
Afro can continue to push in here. Taipon might be able to find a nice little cheeky line through the murder hole, but look at this from Lambeau. Lambeau, the flanker. Lambeau, the hero for this round for GyoGun, comes up the top of Astro with Afro going down. There's a huge opportunity. Kerry just needs to stay alive. Lambeau in an incredible position. He does get spotted, but it doesn't make a difference. Lugator can't get much done. Taipon getting late information, but information nonetheless. And now it's a 2v1.
15 seconds remaining.
Taipon could certainly pull this one off. It's too late to revive Afro. You've got to go for kills. That's the first one. Kerry's the last one left. This is a ballsy play. Afro is back up, and now Kerry has to clutch it. What is that? With 6 seconds to go to revive the team.
And now, get that 2-0 start. Now, what that means, I guess we'll wait and see whether that ends up having a huge impact or not. Nevertheless, with GyoGun on their defense, you would really want to see them at least convert a couple of AVG rounds or stat trophy. GyGn can be a little bit more finicky and a little bit more hostile
5 seconds left
for the defense, but they've still got 4 rounds. Definitely by no means a downer, but it's not the way they wanted to kickstart.
Could just be GyoGun needing a little bit of time to warm up. For FAV though, like, you mentioned the word experience in that previous round, in that clutch. Like, that is just trust. Insane level of trust.
I'm reloading.
The fact that he trusts his teammate to go for that and cover him. There was 6 seconds left when he revived his teammate. That would not have been enough time to plant. Like, the timer would have hit 0. Would have effectively been a 1v1 for a couple of seconds. He would have had to trust Afro completely. And, well, Afro certainly made sure that he didn't waste that trust and waste that opportunity. Now GyoGun on a loose roam here for this dining defense. Eraber upstairs in Astro, hiding behind this desk as the drones start to come out, start to pressure out. GyoGun, no doubt going to be looking for a C4 here. They've got the information from the cardiac sensor on 2 players. If this C4 lands, it could be huge, but Lugator just walks past. And now FAV need to be extra careful because there are some roamers upstairs.
Yeah, they may well be met with aggression at this point. Nade might be perfect from Lugator. No, it's not. It just hits the wall. That could have been devastating. It's actually going to force them back a little bit more here. Lugator very low on HP. As GyoGun stay extended. They stay aggressive and ever vigilant, Dev.
Yeah, and they keep putting this pressure back onto FAV Gaming. Great fight there in Astro from Eraber, and now Shin forced back. Afro solo HP can no longer really keep pushing this. There were 2 players near the grandfather clock just holding on to that ground. Number 2's got to take the diffuser and the round into his own hands and figure out where these players are. Oh, Eraber is still in Astro and still just waiting for the opportunity. Surely number 2's going to lose his life here.
You'd have to imagine. I mean, guess he didn't have the intel that he needed, but I mean, the second number 2 steps out, this should surely be it. This will just be on the chopping block, but number 2 does drop. Now starting to look for the kill in the mud, finds an unreal shot on the nowhere. FAV Gaming, they are clawing this back bit by bit. Number 2 finds another, but is quickly traded by Reaper. Oh my word, what a play. Can't get anything done. What a play for GyoGun to find their first round of the series.
What a 3K from Eraber. On the smoke, just holding on. That's why you pick the FMG, I guess. So you can absolutely mow everybody down. At least that's something now as GyoGun can get a little bit more confidence. They get animated. I don't believe these players would have ever played a LAN event before. And often it can be quite intimidating jumping into it for the first time, but you can see they're excited. They're really just so grateful to have this experience, plucked up from really just not being a very established team, not very long ago, just a bunch of mates keen to try and make this dream come true, this esports dream. Here they are on the biggest stage in Japanese, Rainbow Six Esports. I'm sure it'd be a dream come true for a lot of these players, and while there's no crowd there, there's plenty of energy just from the players emanating from these GyoGun guys. And after that 4K came out from Eraber, they were just giving him pats on the back and saying, "Good job, mate, let's go." It's so good to see.
It certainly is, and it's the hallmark of a team that, you know, could eventually be one of the best teams in Japan if they continue on the trend, if they continue to ride this wave. And I mean, this is such an incredible opportunity, Dev. You think about, you know, LAN, you think about the kind of pressure that comes with a championship, and I'm sure in their own eyes, they're probably thinking, you know, we don't necessarily need to put pressure on ourselves here. FAV Gaming, one of the best teams in Japan. As long as we put some good results up on the board, you know, that's kind of, that might be a good start for their campaign into the domestic league. You just don't know at this point. We're only umming and ahhing about what they may be able to achieve, but to begin with, if they can have that kind of composure to pull a clutch out, I mean, Areba. That's pretty nasty, all things considered, but whether they would be able to do so week in and week out, or even round in and round out, we're going to have to wait and see. Things are looking pretty good for FAV, all things considered. They have looked quite structured, Dev. Just looking to close this one out.
That was a clutch shot there from nowhere on the stairs, taking out the Florist drone. That would have been the end of his shield. Taipon's going to send another one out. Shin as well, going to start flashing that. Going to make it super awkward now for Nowhere to try and hold these stairs. As another flash goes through, number 2 is also taking control of 90 as well. There's that Flores Rotero drone to take out some barbed wire, but still hasn't taken out the player yet on the stairs. Shin's actually going to come from below. He's going to try and cut off the retreat, surely. Oh no, the ADS is reactivated. Tragic. That's
fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Still 4 more nades for FAV to use. Where they decide to do so, that's totally up to them. They've still got a shield at top red. They've still got that bulletproof cam, and it looks like Taipon might be to the demise of that top red shield, which it is. All but too easy at that point. Nowhere just sits back, still thinking there's a player coming from underneath, but it's actually Lugator who's taking control of the hallway. Things are quiet here. GyoGun haven't dropped the player, but nor have they necessarily made any kind of marks or dints on FAV Gaming. It's kind of a bit of a stalemate at the moment.
Look, FAV's actually completed a lot of the checkboxes, right? Clearing a lot of this utility. But that said, you know, at the end of the day, if Io-Chan can just jump out and find Afro, I mean, it doesn't matter. Also, Nowhere's managed to get back into sight. He was trapped on the red stairs, and they allowed him to get back. Kerry's also found one at 90, trading back his teammate Lamball, meaning that GyoGun have the advantage. Lugator's got something to say about it, though. 3-on-3 with 30 seconds left.
All still a player at top main stairs, and Lugator, oh my goodness, Lugator nearly killed himself then. That was the nade that he'd thrown at the back of Bar. It just bounced off and came back into the rotate. It looks like it is going to be against Take. Nowhere, shutting down Taipon, pulls out the pistol. The sidearm might be enough to get it done, but Shin, the clutch master for FAV with 5 seconds left on the clock, composes himself and finds the kill to secure a 3rd round for FAV Gaming.
That got very, very close, and it was almost a 1v3 for Nowhere. But credit to Shin to keep his cool in the final moments there. It didn't start out strong, did it, for FAV? It was kind of scary. I was thinking, hey, you know, lost the opening while they've ticked a lot of the boxes, while they've cleared a lot of utility and opened up, you know, breach onto the 90 wall into Vault. Hadn't really actually managed to punish, for example, Nowhere on the red stairs. They hadn't really managed to punish aggression and study. They hadn't actually made progress, but fortunately for FAV Gaming, as soon as that timer hits about 20 seconds, they just gain superpowers. They just, honestly, it's like getting a finger boost, but it's like, all right, guys, you press this button, 20 seconds, all right, we can go now. It's like, you know, at nighttime, like the vampires can come out, and with 20 seconds left, FAV Gaming could just turn on.
Imagine FAV using the finger in those last 20 seconds as well. Like that would just be... I mean, you'd almost need to nerf Finker at that point if FAV started really utilizing that, because their late round executes have been absolutely phenomenal. And now, they are really in the driver's seat. Doesn't really look like GyoGun have had that wow factor, at least on their defense, that we had hoped for. Whether that continues or not, completely different story altogether. This is, it's a map that does kind of lean 50-50. I mean, there's a slight, I think a 6% difference in the Japan League if we're looking at, you know, the results across that tournament. Well, not tournament, it is a league. It's 30 maps have actually been played of Villa, so we have a very large map pool. Or size, sample size, if you will, to go off. So, you know, probably be looking at a 3-3 pass mark for GyoGun here, but it doesn't look like that may be achievable when FAV are just taking control of this game.
Yeah, FAV's clears have been really, really strong. GyoGun haven't really dedicated to hard roaming. Don't really blame them. Like, FAV have been Really clinical, really methodical. Taking a lot of map control already, really cutting off these pathways for GyoGun. FAV's method of roam clearing seems to really rely on players like Shin, number 2, just getting in the map and then holding passive positions, putting pressure on GyoGun. You know, the Dockerby, for example, from Afro, that call is going to make these GyoGun players think, okay, I've got to rotate, I've got to get out. And that's when FAV Gaming are holding down those lines of sight, waiting for you to rotate into them.
Bomb located by attackers.
Lambor, you wouldn't dare think about it. That's a cheeky peek. Not going to lay into any dividends just yet. Need to be so careful at this point. He might get swung on. Instead, he tries to take the fight onto the Maverick. Holding on for dear life. Lambor is burning through a lot of that time that FAV were hoping to utilize to try and open these walls.
Yeah, there's 1 minute left. FAV have not taken as much map control as they'd like. I mean, I think that's a rappel into 90 now, but there's still 2 people hanging out just so close to that site. And just ready and waiting. Nowhere finds the first one on the Bandit. Lambor, if he doesn't realize that, yeah, okay, there you go. Just walk straight into that line of sight. Lugator takes him down. Bit of an awkward one, but Nowhere's got a C4 and has managed to rotate below.
Ochan as well. No C4, but can at the very least play on the back of Nowhere should they need to. Kerry seen this kind of precarious position work time and time again. The swing just manages to catch out the backside of Lugator. They're going to be able to stick this on bricks. There's nothing that GyoGun can do unless they can get into a line of sight. Kerry might be able to swing. They can't get it done. And now the post plant is going to be a massacre for FAV.
You'd expect so. Just 2 left. Io-chan. Oh, he can't land enough shots. Lugator to finish him off. It's just Kerry now. On the vigil, not long for this world, surely. Number 2. Okay, shut down. That was a nice shot for Kerry. Lugator's prone and just waiting though, and surely it's not possible for Kerry now. Is Lugator gonna swing this? Come on, mate, gotta get it done. There you go. A massive round for Lugator.
At the game against Orthros Grid. Again, it's just the easiest thing to reference because, of course, the viewers saw it yesterday, as well as the fact that we were watching quite intently. I believe it was a little bit more of a defender-sided map, which, there you go, it was. 2-5-1 defensive halves, which really tells quite a dire tale here for the team of GyoGun. If we're to go off history repeating itself, which quite often history is a great indicator for some of the future, I will say. I will 100% put my hand up and say some of the future. I do think that this could be absolutely devastating for GyoGun. We head across to Cafe, which I'm not convinced for GyoGun. And FAV may well see I mean, they're kind of, if you think about the bracket that they've had, there's no Cyclops, there's no Guts Gaming. They have the easier side of the bracket in terms of that kind of, the kind of teams. We really want to see them making statements here. And this is a great statement that they've started to make.
Yeah, I mean, we had every reason to doubt FAV. You know, they've got another big set of matches coming up. They're going to have to fight for their place in APAC North. And in fact, it may be GyoGun that is playing in that relegation against them. Here it comes, though. Look at this. FAV Gaming, what a call. Shin on for the entry. A fantastic opening pick. Only a minute into the round, and this rush has worked like a charm.
Lugator, I don't think it can be denied. Shin's watching like a guardian angel. Lambor couldn't hit anything, Nowhere now trying to get aggressive, will be shut down immediately. Io-chan, the last to remain here in the half. It's a nice shot, maybe a second, but no. Wow, it's Shin to shut it down and FAV to go 5-1 up on their attacking half of Villa.
Where is the energy that we saw at the start of this match from GyoGun? Perhaps a faint smile. But look, this has been a massacre so far. FAV Gaming really showing what they're worth. 5 rounds of attack on Villa. Against any team would be fantastic, but against GyoGun's map pick, FAV have so much to be happy about right now. GyoGun have just lost that round on the back of their tactical timeout. They're going to have to pull everything out on their own attack side But Rob, if I'm honest, this game feels like it may almost be over.
Attackers need to locate and
Truthfully,
defuse as many bombs as they can.
it does feel like we're kind of halfway out the door already, which is crazy to think. With all the hype that we brought into this game for GyoGun, it has been one of the toughest starts that we've seen. FAV Gaming, they were given their wake-up call yesterday against Orthoros Grit. They would have come in today fully prepared and fully knowing, one, who they were playing, but two, what they needed to do to secure this. And I think we honestly, again, leaning into the experience that FAV Gaming do have in these kind of situations, in these kind of scenarios. They've been a team that have forever been part of the APAC scene. I do think that this is where they kind of start to shine, and especially under the circumstances that they find themselves in. They really need to start making statements in any league, tournament, whatever official game that they are playing. FAV need to start to turn that storyline around, and I think that they've been given a bit of a rude awakening call with APAC North, but now they could really start to make a bit of a statement domestically, shut down any kind of thought outside of.
All eyes on GyoGun now to show us what they've got on their attacking side. Really focusing on the main stairs at the moment, but they'll be walking into a crossfire if they start to make their way up. We do have the Thinker for the first time this game, brought in this case by Lambert. As they start to drone out downstairs, a couple sets of nade on this team does mean that there's a lot of vertical potential, even though there's no buck present. Oh my God, Lugate has got the shotgun. This is something you do not see every day. M870 packs a punch and is the perfect operator for holding onto these stairs. Here comes the first engagement, take it down, can't double it up. Nowhere does manage to get the trade back, and I'd say that's a win for GyoGun.
Could have almost been a second. A devastating one at that, but fortunately it's not to be. It's been so long since I've seen the shotgun on Jaeger. Almost forgotten about it completely. It's kind of like, I mean, I look at that play style and the first thing I think of is Elevate and the way that they play the Bandit with the shotgun as well. So it's good. Oh no!
How did he find two?
Don't question the master. Oh God, FAV are just styling on GyoGun right now.
This is not what I expected in this match. Yes, FAV are the favored team, but I did not think GyoGun would fall down so easily. Where was this FAV Gaming all year long? Been struggle street for them. Within the Japan League, you know, they haven't been as bad as, you know, elsewhere. They managed 3rd place in Japan League this year, just behind Sengoku and Cyclops. You know, even above teams like Guts. But APAC North has been shocking for FAV. They're currently going to be facing relegation.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
Fortunately for them, they won't have to face relegation out of the Japan League. But they might actually find themselves in a position for the championship. Like, I cannot believe it. But if FAV keep playing this well, I would definitely say that they'd have a good shot against USG in the semi-final.
Yep.
Now, all that stands between FAV Gaming and the championship is this game, which is looking to be over pretty shortly, and then USG, and then that grand final.
Yep.
Doesn't seem that impossible now that we really think about it.
No, and I think a lot of our storyline does kind of come back to, you know, where they are in terms of the APAC North scene and where they've been performing Shin. My goodness. Give me a heart attack there, my friend. But
he's actually been nuts this game, Shin. He's got 2 opening kills, 1.17 kills per round. That is actually huge.
I mean, this is what we saw from him yesterday. Honestly, the game against Orthoros Grid, had it not have been for Shin, I genuinely think they would have lost Chalet. He was opening so many rounds and responding in kind to anything that Orthoros Grid were throwing at them. So It doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form to see Shin taking charge once again today, regardless of his stature in the team. Shin once again trying to go for an aggressive peek, can't find the shot just yet. Call comes in. He's not in a position to try and play around it. Kerry absolutely deletes him. And now it's just Afro on this side of the map. The Gator goes down. What can Afro get done?
Don't think they realize Afro's right here, but the drone comes through and spots him. Now he's in a pickle. The E1D as well, but Kerry's actually just gonna send it straight onto site. This is a very aggressive position. Might be able to punish FAV Gaming, manages to dodge the Prisma without getting spotted. Oh no, looked away at the wrong moment, Typon. Spots out that player. Afro also able to do some damage. Number 2 has made this possible. Traded back. And Typon as well. It is non-stop, but Io-chan finds himself alone with no diffuser. 2 players to find.
They are isolated. That is the only saving grace right now. Io-chan not given an opportunity on the first fight. He doesn't know that he's in Skull. The shotgun gives him away. He's going to move now. He cannot stay where he is. The shotgun up close. He might be able to find a kill down the... Whoa, no way. Not the trade. Not like that. What? FAV Gaming take the first map. I mean, I'm still sitting here kind of unsure of what I'm just seeing.